Hello, guys, and welcome back. We have a draft underway, and we should get right into it as SG Esports are unknown team already well into the third pick of the second game. So let's see. Moxxi Purge, any predictions as we're getting into this draft? We're gonna see it in a second here. There we
Um,
go. There we go. There you go. Thank you. Sorry, I don't care actually about your predictions. Let's talk about drafting. Let's talk about heroes, guys. We have unknown picking up the Dusa this time as opposed to the Spectre, so changing up the carry, but still part of that trifecta. We've seen Moxie actually. We've seen Pacat's probably one of his best heroes. Medusa, would you say? I mean, up there with a Morphling.
yeah, it's definitely. I know he loves the Morphling. I definitely have like dreams still of him just spamming the taunt nonstop because that's his favorite.
Yeah, shotgun. Yeah.
But yeah, the Dusa especially, that's something that's very comfortable for him. I know that the Hoodwink, which loves playing this hero, has played a bunch of it today already. It feels like they're going with what's really comfortable with them and what they feel like they can be the best on. But the Bristleback, that's very interesting to me with this particular pickup.
Have you not seen Roboceta picking it up?
Not as much. Like I haven't watched like all the games yesterday. I was actually at a wedding. I'm not sure if it was picked up, but definitely
He
a little surprising to me.
he abuses that hero mid. He loves the bristleback mid. He's been spamming it nonstop in these coolest qualifiers. With the Aghanim Scepter rush.
I like the pivot that SG Esports did here. They in a previous match in this qualifier, they opened Magnus. They picked AM in the second phase as a Dusa solution, and it was a great game for it. Their opponents had very few disables. That gets banned out by an unknown team, and they pivot instead, and they go with a Slark, which is a common diffusal blade hero, so it'll still give minus armor, minus mana. That'll be effective against Dusa. But also farm rapidly too. And it's also a decent matchup against Bristleback. Stealing his stats, even though you're reducing damage, can be an effective solution, and draining his mana also is, because then you don't get to spam those annoying goos and quills as often. So I think Slark's a decent pivot. I don't really believe in the hero that much normally, but having Empower to further accelerate what the hero can do in a normal game is a good way to contextualize it, and Oracle to back it up as well. Who knows? Maybe he's just going to get ultied and he's going to attack like an extra 30 times before he dies, and that might get a kill or two.
Why don't you believe in the hero right now?
I just feel like lane-wise, it can be a little bit iffy in dual lanes. In tri lanes, obviously, it was an amazing carry. The power of the third skill is great, but I just feel like you get out-harassed typically before you hit 6. In a lot of cases, you're sacrificing Dark Pack HP just to do harassment, for example. So there's issues like that. And then farm speed, it's okay, but not incredible. It just feels like you need a lot of items as well to become like as strong as maybe some other carries. So he doesn't quite have the farm naturally, or the team fight or gank by himself to feel comparable to some other heroes that are like, he's like a fork. He's got like 4 prongs instead of like just being like a dagger. That's really good at like one thing. It's worth picking for that reason. But Slark's a little bit jack of all trades, but not good enough at any of them to really feel valuable. But he will with the Magnus.
Okay, at last picks here. SG probably needing a mid laner, though 40R's played the Magnus before. But I'm assuming it's going to be Tavo's hero. Any guesses as to what we could see, Moxie?
Mm, I'd like to see something ranged potentially. Just because right now they're very melee heavy. But nothing standing out to me right away just yet. If it is indeed, going to be Robozy on the Bristleback, they have to be very careful too, because the usual solutions of something ranged, like we saw Alina earlier, or something, if they try to put that in the mid lane, it would be difficult because he's just going to run you down, and you're going to have all those stacks. Puck was banned out, but that was on the side of SG.
It's a tough matchup, honestly, against Bristleback mid. I'm starting to think of like the beats the spirits pretty easily. Heroes like DP can sort of do it against them, but it also feels weak. Yeah, it does not. It's awkward because of the positioning, and Bristleback can just play that aggressively.
And the Viper was banned out super early on too, over on the side of SG, because you think of that generally, it's going to be survivable pretty decently in the lane, plus the fact that you have the break mechanic, but that is not an option here, and it feels like SG's also stumped with us. Purge, what do you think? Do you see anything that stands out to you?
They've got Mars on paper a bunch of games. That's kind of okay against Bristle because you can turn him, but it's like not always the best. And it's decent. I guess you could limit like Medusa right clicks to separate the Abaddon a little bit. I don't think something team fight like Tide doesn't quite feel good enough because it's pretty easy for Medusa to offset your team fight with her team fight. She pops her Stone Gaze, so they do end up
There's
with a
the
DP. I mean, silence alone is like really valuable against these tanky heroes like Dusa and Bristleback because you don't necessarily want to commit like stuns to them, but just throwing a silence on them feels really valuable because you're like, oh, I'll just ignore you now, no problem.
Oh, that's a very good point, actually. In the Spirit Siphon, of course, easy to deal Bristleback in the lane because of that. However, Bristleback can just run you down sometimes. That's the concern that DP sometimes have with the Viscous Ghoul build. So, SG actually thought the Bristleback was going to be off lane, which is interesting to me because they have run it last game against Infinity as an off laner. You guys think it should be flexed that way? 1437 was pretty certain Bristleback off lane is just not really that good right now compared to his mid.
I would agree with that. It's just one of those heroes that really benefits from a lot of extra levels. You know, the more quills you have, the better damage, better farm speed. The more Bristleback levels you have, the farther your net worth goes. So, kind of like Medusa when Medusa was often going mid, it's just like you just farm so much faster and you're so much tankier if you get those extra levels in the mid lane. So definitely agree with that. You're not gonna have any trouble taking stacks on Unknown this game, that's for sure.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. And you have some good stacking heroes on Hoodwink as well. Naker shot pretty solid as taking stack. Centaur's last pick seems okay. I like the Centaur matchup actually against Slark despite him being melee because you bring a lot of area damage to the table. You can run away from Slark when you Shadow Dance or route him.
And it gives them solutions to get away from SG when SG commits. If Death Prophet ulties, if Magnus skewers a guy back or something like that, they can potentially escape. So between like Medusa and Bristleback, heroes that are constantly going to want to run towards their opponents, it'll also help them control that a little bit.
They flexed the Magnus and DP actually. They're going to put Magnus mid against Bristle and then DP offlane. Why is that?
Well, Death Prophet would be laning against what? Deuce in the safe lane?
Deuce Abaddon?
I feel like Deuce or Death Prophet has pretty good base stats. They should be able to bully Abaddon a decent amount, I think, and that would unlock Medusa Harass as well. So between Nyx and DP, it looks pretty decent. You have good solutions to like set up on Abba too. If he shields, you could spike Carapace it after attacking him, then get a disable follow up. If you're Spirit Siphoning as well, I just feel like Abba's gonna get semi-zoned, and you have solutions against Dusa. So I feel like they can get away with it, and thus give Magnus those extra levels, which will translate to Slark farming rapidly with the Empower. I like this faster blink dagger on Mag. When they played the aim game that I watched, they got ahead so fast and really brought it to Medusa and limited her net worth advantage.
So, what draft are you favoring then, out of the two?
SG's looks more fun. Like it sticks together on paper. That's really cool.
Okay.
Unknown is basically like we're gonna put Medusa and Bristle back in the front, and we're just gonna cast spells on you and auto attack, and hopefully you make a mistake, basically. And that can be really effective if you get a net worth advantage or if you do happen to win the lanes. But I think I like SG's better. Gotta cheer for the drafts that look fun, right?
Moxxi, do you agree with that concept?
I mean, I love fun. And it's usually not Purge the one who's saying, like, yeah, let's go with the more fun one.
I care about fun greatly.
Yes, for sure. You definitely do. That's what Purge is known for, his fun. But no, I really like the draft coming out from the side of Unknown, especially when you consider that, you mentioned the fact that Robozy is very comfortable on the Bristleback. You've got Widge on his Hoodwink, who does very, very well with it. And of course, Pekaz on his Medusa. So I see these comfort picks and I think, okay, these guys know exactly what they're doing. They know how they want to play. And I think they're going to be able to take this one.
Okay. So, what draft will win, guys? Is going to be Unknown with their comfort picks, or it's going to be SG with their fun? Take it away, Moxxi, and the most fun, Purge.
Oh no, we've made it a thing now.
I am more fun than Moxxi. Everybody knows this. Very clear. But I think their draft is really cool. They've got some slightly different. I mean, Meg concepts aren't that weird, but they're doing it with heroes that are a little bit out of the meta. So it's going to add a little bit of spice onto the game. They've got disable setups. They've got team fight and tower push with the Death Prof, and the other team is just going to build really tanky heroes that stand there and are difficult to kill or run into. That's less fun in my mind.
I mean, it does sound less fun, but the other thing too, which is pretty nice, is that if the Slark does have that survivability, which she potentially does because you've got KJ playing the Oracle, when you've got these big tanky, beefy boys in the front or whatnot, he is just going to get so many essence stack shifts, and that's going to be very, very good for him. But of course, this is a hero with a Slark. You have to be ahead. If you start to fall behind, it is so difficult to bounce back. Do you think they have the kind of draft that's going to allow them this, especially when you consider that there is, of course, 4DR playing the Magnus, who's going to be able to empower and help accelerate? Or do you think they'll potentially have an issue?
I think they definitely have the draft that could catch up or stay there. It helps that they also have Oracle on the back line. That way, if Sark does make a mistake, you can cover him. But yeah, it's just going to accelerate him faster. They can dispel things like Nasal Goo. He's got other cores that can play aggressive with him, the Death Prophet as well. So he doesn't necessarily have to be the guy that initiates. That's one thing I guess they're missing initiation a bit until Magnus gets blamed. But once they get it, they've got options. So I feel like I can't wait to see how Slark does this game, honestly. I love to see heroes like this get thrown back into the meta, especially in big matches like this. His stat draining against Medusa will be effective too. There's just cool things going on in this concept of ideas. Two ideas colliding. It's gonna get the game 2 win.
Well, again, traditionally what we see with SG is the first game, they tend to struggle a little bit and then they start to get activated in game number 2. But Unknown definitely bringing their A game, picking things that they feel very comfortable with and that, might have them struggling a bit to deal with, especially when you consider the fact that Wish, I think, is one of the probably the most, I don't want to say well-known Hoodwink player for SA, but definitely, plays this hero quite a bit and does a lot with the hero.
It's good right now. Not necessarily always first pick material, but lane stage impact with Acorn Shot and Blightstone. You can just get so much extra damage against your opponents, so it's effective. Like 90 damage per Acorn Shot bounce, so that bounces 3 times and you attack like twice. You've done like 5 auto attacks or something like that.
Those are some insane acorns.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage. It's a really good way to pressure your opponents. In Oracle with low damage and low armor, it's got to be a little bit careful that you don't get these bounces cascading through. So
you also just have nice setup too, right? The fact that you've got potential with the Bushwhack setup followed up with a Centaur Stomp. So KJ has to be very careful in his position because, already we're seeing the opening here with that Bushwhack and Stomp chonking away over here at Costabile.
You're doing a great job pressuring him.
Difficult, and that is like we said, a Slark does have difficulty bouncing back. So if they manage to put enough pressure on him, it's going to end up becoming an issue. In fact, get another stomp here from Sacred, just continues to put the damage down over onto Costabile, but he does have plenty of tangos. He's expecting this.
It's getting beat up though.
Yeah, I mean, that's just sometimes the life as a core when you're against these sorts of lanes.
Yeah, it's just Oracle can't really stop them from doing this. If Oracle had a stun instead, for example, he could counteract this a little bit, stun one guy back when they go on Slark, for example. But yeah, they pulled creeps top for the next assassin. That is decent for them. It's going to get a little bit of experience away from Medusa. It'll give Avo a little bit more, but the important thing is keeping it away from Medusa. And then Tavo is going to lane just fine there in the 1v1. In the mid lane, 8-3 versus the 5-1 of Bristles. They're about even too. So just pretty even game at the moment.
How does this matchup go necessarily between this Magnus and the Bristle? I know that we've seen it before, not necessarily in the mid lane. Sometimes you see it more in the off lane, but
nobody's gonna die.
Okay,
that's what's gonna happen unless there's a gank. A gank could set things up, or Magnus. The best thing that could happen basically is Magnus skewers Bristle under his tower or something and gets a bunch of tower hits in. But Magnus has pretty high armor. He's got high HP, so like, what are the chances that Bristle kills him with Quills? It's pretty low. Maybe when Bristle hits 6, he has a chance to kill, but I would be really surprised if Mag dies, unless there's rotations for either side. So they're both just going to hit creeps, and Magnus should probably farm faster for now until Bristle clears stacks later on.
Missing a lot of trees here in this bottom lane. Trying to prevent the inevitable bushwhack, perhaps.
That helps a lot, actually. Best is the late game, like everybody carries Quelling Blade to break the tree that everyone's tied to with the bushwhack. That's the best way to remove that stun. It's always cool to see that in late game situations.
My favorite is always when you see someone with the Force Staff trying to break it. Theolicor's up to his old tricks again here. He wants to get this courier. Does manage to take
Skewer under
down
tower
Medusas. But
Mid lane.
yeah, get some body blocks going out there. But RoboZ
Incredible.
absolutely fine, like you said. But while this is going on, Theolicor does manage to find himself a kill on the Medusa.
All right, I'll take blame for that one, Observe, right? I said it 8 times. To look mid. He skewered him. He skewered him pretty deep. It looked like it ultimately didn't do that much damage. You know, it's only like half of his HP or something. But big kill. Dusa is the one that goes down there. That's huge.
Dusa went down, and they got the kill on her courier as well. So,
how will she ever recover from this, other than jungling extremely fast? I don't know.
Well, here's the flip side of that, Purge, is that they do have heroes that are able to try to keep tabs on her, who'll be able to scout out and perhaps, you know, perform some ganks, try to take advantage of that, right? With something like a Nyx Assassin, is going to be able to keep tabs. Top lane, though, Tavo is taking a decent chunk of damage here. Does have that Spirit Siphon, though. And they send Theolicor back up to deal with it. Bottom lane, Costabile sitting very low, but I think he's going to be fine. Sitting at level 4 very soon. There it is. And is working on the treads. Any more heals on this Oracle? He's got tangos. If he wants to share. Yeah, he shares.
Starts passing him over. I'm sure he wishes he had Fate's Edict so he could start healing, but you know, don't usually get that till level 4. So 4 now. Slark is just going to have to miss some of these last hits, unfortunately. But the nice new Tango sharing system, this will be fine. Especially with the wave pushing under tower, he'll be okay. 4 now. Angel getting pressured top a little bit. Theolicor has a stun remaining. See if they go for it. They are.
They're going for it. There's not a lot of mana left, but of course Shested is doing his best here to try to just keep her safe using that that miscoil. So
that's cool. They just disengage once the shield comes out because it's like, well, if we damage her, she's going to blow up and it's going to hurt our trade anyway. So they make Abba waste 100 mana doing this trade. Good circumstance for them.
They had the little hoodwink delivery service over in the mid lane as they drop off a Sal for RoboZ. Continue to stay over there.
He's got his Ring of Health now. His last hits are not good, actually. 20-3 versus the 37-15, so Magnus is just kind of dumpstering him, and that's basically because Magnus has higher strength gain than Bristleback does. Bristleback's is a lot more mild, and then he's also got the empower damage, so he's actually hitting for like 30 damage more. So this matchup is actually looking great for them because he's just gonna be able to get way more denies. Like Bristle can get last hits with Quill Spray, but you have to prep them. You have to Quill Spray and then do a second Quill Spray to compete with that damage output. So Magnus is just getting way more denies than he should, and as a result, this is why he just got his Ring of Health on the Bristle, because his net worth is just quite a bit lower. He's got 2,000 net worth. Magnus is sitting at 3k, so this is going great for Mag.
I mean, as you said before, though, Purge, if ever there was a team for stacks, it would be Team Unknown. So most likely, even though he's struggling here in this middle lane, I'm sure his supports will be doing stacking and try to, you know, help offset some of this struggle here in the mid lane.
We've got a 3 Ancient and a 3 Large Camp right now, so there's some options for RoboZ here. He's got the he's got the Regen Rune as well, so he definitely can go jungle if he needs to. Magnus, firm level ahead. Tavo looking dead top, maybe.
No, he's
okay.
got he's fine. He's fine. Theolicor's here. Theolicor's gonna go and poke a little bit here as the rotation coming out. They use the Exorcism as well, so they'll root him into place, and that's a second death here for the Medusa in the top line.
As a cool rotation Oracle shows up, gets the Fortune's End to follow up, so even though he gets hit with the Dispel from the Aphotic Shield, they get the damage follow up, and that's a second death now on Medusa. She did not have her mana shield on when she died, actually. A little bit of a mistake there. Big mistake, actually. She had 400 mana. Definitely could have bought some time. Probably still is dead, but for whatever reason. Didn't have it on. Lots of TPs coming top, though. They don't want to lose their tier 1 tower.
Yep, they go. They use the Stampede.
Coming,
Sacred is here. They have the heal that comes out over to Tavo. Buys just a little bit more time. A nice root landing over on multiples. Can they turn this around? Yes, they get the kill on the Abad. The Olacor joining back in here. Wish needs to be careful. They'll turn their attention over to the Centaur instead. He's a big tanky boy, but they've got the Spirit Siphon. They've got the body blocks. They've got plenty of damage. Can they do one more nuke in time, though? It's not looking like it's going to be quite enough as he gets salved up, throws out the taunt. It's absolutely fine.
It was a good try, but yeah, Fairy Fire and ran out of nukes on Oracle. Great stun as well to buy some time. He's going to hold the wave, prevent that from being taken super fast. And now the Stack Boys will clear the stacks while holding hands.
Aw, where's the high five, though, guys? That's what I want to know.
Good point.
They got to high five each other when they do this. Show that they're truly a team of friends.
And he's letting Medusa prioritize the farm over himself. He'll move back to the mid lane to defend this, so cares more about Dusa catching up. But this is one of the problems, though, is that both of these two guys are underfarmed. The Bristleback did worse than desired in the mid lane, and Medusa died twice, so not a good sign to have two tanky boys be two moderately tanky boys instead. They're trying to catch the Hoodwink. This ward spots him, trying to sap experience, but they don't want to let him.
We'll find him. The Skewer back up here, but still scurrying away.
It's kind of weird, but...
oh, nice grab here with that Impale coming off the Olacor. KJ's here. He's going to wind up with that root, holding Wish in place. Good. Bushwhack buys him a bit more time, but in the end, eventually it'll be Squirrel Stew.
That was nice. The Purifying Flames broke the raindrops, so the level 2 Shockwave is able to get the last hit, so good for Magnus. It doesn't clear the stacks just yet. They do deward the ward on the cliff, though, so now they feel comfortable taking the stacks, knowing that they're not going to lose experience on this, so this is a big deal. That's why Magnus didn't want to do it just yet, so it just kind of feels... I know the net worth is even right now, but it kind of feels like SG is getting everything they want out of the map right now.
I would agree with that statement. It's a little bit difficult. Like you said, you've got two heroes here that both need these stacks. They need to catch up. And I would say that RoboZ is more of the tempo hero that probably needs it a bit more. But of course, if your Dusa starts falling behind, like it just becomes the sort of domino effect, right?
It does end up being a domino effect, especially when you start making rotations and taking these first couple of fights here. Gillicor snagging the haste rune from his opponents. The other hero to watch was Slark. He's going for Echo Saber. Not going to go Diffusal Blade. Maybe later he'll buy it because it is an excellent game, but who knows? Maybe he'll just go Echo into something else instead. But for now, the Echo is it's the fighting carry item. 300 HP it gives you. Gives you a bunch of attack speed, tons of mana regen, much more than most mid-tier items right now. Falcon Blade. Nobody gives a crap about Falcon Blade anymore, guys. Echo Saber is the Falcon Blade, and it's far better than it ever was. So that's the way to play. And Slark's going to be able to steal stacks and farm camps with Dark Pact.
This is very exciting because the Blink Dagger now is completed for 4DR. So I have a feeling we will be seeing smoke come out fairly soon, and there will be some attempt at an aggressive behavior coming out from SG with this online.
The real question is, who does he play around right now? The bot tower is vulnerable. They could go defend that with the RP. It's a little hard on Centaur, though. Instead, it looks like maybe mid lane. TPing Tavo as well with the Olacor there, Invis. Looking at the Bristle, he's got a Vanguard, but could be killed. And he's going to TP mid. They're going for a smoke. Probably invading, looking for Dusa would be like the ideal, but...
Ooh. The Olacor standing underneath the sentry ward. They know that he's there. They are smoked up, though. 4DR just going to show up immediately with the Skewer playback. The Exorcism comes out. And RoboZ, he's tanky, but I'm not looking like he's going to be tanky enough as he falls. And now they'll turn their attention over to the Abaddon. Sitting at level 5, he's going to be next to get erased as the Exorcism is up. And they're going to start pushing the middle tower. 4DR getting into position.
So they accomplish two things. They kill one of the tanky guys that they're worried about carrying the game, and they kill the guy that's defending the tower. So it forces more unknown heroes to rotate over. This accomplishes so much more than if they would have killed Medusa somewhere.
Ooh, they have Wish. The Skewer back into the Exorcism here. The Bushwhack comes out. It's not enough. Down will go Wish. And Gostabile will collect himself a kill.
All right, good for him. 2 agility now, and they get the mid tower. Absolutely worth it. And they didn't even RP. That was just Shockwave, Skewer, and a lot of slaps. There was a lot of quills that came out. It was looking a little bit hairy for SG, but they were completely fine here.
Lots lots
see
of
Slark use
goo
ulti.
and gross stuff here, but he can of course purge it all off. And Team Unknown will just regroup over here on the side.
All right, and he's going for Yasha next, so still gonna just not go for the defusal. He just doesn't care about it. More concerned with just being mobile. He'll be able to farm faster with Yasha than defusal. It's much cheaper too. And in the meantime, Nick's just splitting experience with Medusa. Kind of interesting.
Is it just a situation, like, I understand obviously that the mana break is very, very good against Medusa, but you also have Theolacore here, who is going to be able to burn some of that mana as well.
Cool.
I'm surprised he didn't go for that courier.
He blocked the ancient camp. Very cool way to spend his time. Good look. Now they're gonna put a sentry down. 50 gold lost, and Medusa can't kill it. And time spent. Oh, he wants this one because his ulti's almost gone. Doesn't get it. It's alright. He's accomplished quite a bit. Spots enemy squad, blocks the large camp that takes, 150 gold away from Medusa or something like that. Yeah, he's gonna TP back to base, but he didn't show the whole time, which is important. Even if he got the courier, okay, that would have been nice, but his opponents don't know where he is, so they're still worried, and they're still putting sentries down and that kind of thing. That like unknown is a scary thing to deal with. And in the meantime, everybody in SG is just getting a lot of net worth. Tavo's had a great game, 0-0 and 6. One more assist, and he's James Bond, and he's 1,000 gold towards his BKB too. So he's like, and he's got Yules. So like, this is their off-lane hero, and he's had a great early game, and his impact is gonna be huge because he's gonna hit this net worth timing where like he just turns on BKB and runs and does huge amounts of damage. So that's pretty cool.
I mean, it's a completely different game for Tavo this time. First game, we had a lot of issues. I know he was struggling with that ping differential, and this time, definitely feels a lot more comfortable. Although he has to be careful because they're definitely going to gank him as they jump forward with that blink, showing it off. Good false promise though from KJ. Buys a bit more time here. He's gonna go, just throw it out, but they follow up with a very nice Yules. Just gonna continue to heal up Tavo as they're hunting. They don't quite manage to land that impale over onto Wish. Kostabile though, he's here. He's in the general vicinity, and they're looking to grab anyone else that they can get their hands on. And Wish hiding in the tree line here immediately gets found here by 40R with the skewer back with the mana drain. They just have everything to blow him up. As Sacred now is left all alone here in this top area. He is going to blink into the woods over here a little bit higher, but
they've got Arcane Rune on Mag. They're not done quite yet. They've got skewer ready to go. They
blink forward. They see Chested. They see Robo Z.
A little too far. I'm sure they would have loved to get another kill, but they know Glyph is gone. Maybe they can pressure the tower here. They lost backdoor a bit. It's really hard to commit to this, but yeah, they're going to pop Exorcism. And with Centaur showing in the mid lane and Stampede being on cooldown, I guess that's just it. Tier 2 tower is dead. Shrine's going to be gone, and now Unknown's ability to be near the Roche pit, if they get outmaneuvered, it's going to be so hard. But here comes some TPs. They are going to try.
Almost managing to go and land the sharpshooter here. Jump forward though here from Sacred. He was looking to possibly try to this double silence out. They go right back in after Sacred. Beautiful bushwhack, but it's not enough. They'll still be able to get the kill. Stonegaze comes out from Angel now. They'll take down Kostabile. 40R is all gooed up. He's going to turn back around, throws up the shockwave, tries to put out a little bit more damage, but they still managed to take him out. Tavo now running for his life. Did have the Yules here. He's going to use it over on Robo Z, but he's just slowly trying to run away. KJ's still nearby, does not have the ultimate. He's going to just teleport out though because they don't have any way to cancel that TP.
He just ravaged them with silence. It was incredible. Like, he's got 2 points in it, 4 seconds silent, just nails them. And it's like, peace. No Yule Scepters on these guys, just gets them. Now, ultimately, little iffy for SG. They lost 2 big heroes. The Slark got hit by, I think, first Bushwhack, and then got stunned by the Stone Gaze, which is a 3-second stun if it sets in. So, being able to kill Slark there was pretty big for them. Unfortunately for him, he didn't quite have his Sange finished. He does. He probably gets his ult off. He gets some regen. Maybe lives. But didn't work out. Maybe we see Abadai here, but it's gonna have
Theolacore wants him pretty badly as they open with an impale. They bring him right back. They'll pop that ultimate, and they do of course have the spy carapace on Theolacore. Do have to be a little bit careful though, because Angel is here. But they pop the shadow dance. Just that he wants that high 5. They'll go and use the Stampede. He will survive it.
Okay, trading out shadow dance basically for Stampede. Slark would have liked the kill, but not the end of the world here. Pupil's Gift, excellent on Slark, tons of HP, and tons of mana as well, both things that he likes working with. But now he's clearing these ancient stacks. Medusa's net worth is looking pretty great at the moment, though. Angel spent a lot of time clearing his tri-camps. He's got S and Y of his own. Sends back a Pupil's Gift. What's he got? Growbow? Okay. I'm surprised Pupil's Gift is amazing on Dusa. It's so much survivability, but the Growbow is also excellent. Huge attack range. Makes Dusa feel safer. Can always apply that debuff. So, yeah, Dusa's net worth is looking better and better. She's queuing up a Butterfly next. It'll give her... In fact, she's got the Eagle Song right now. So, very close to Butterfly, and that's a perfect item solution against Slark. Slark does not want to buy MKB anytime soon. Nobody wants to buy MKB anytime soon. So
No, they don't. Okay, the Yules comes out. Look at these mass TPs coming through. Go. They pop the exorcism. The chase is on from Angel. He's hoping that he can grab anyone, but they just back off. They don't want to look at her. Constabile, pincered on the other side. They are grouped tightly around this tower that is looking like it's going to fall as anyone just sneezes on Sacred, gets leashed up. There's a nice silence, a follow forward here. RP over onto 3. The damage comes out as they manage to clean up Sacred. They're going after Shessa. They'll pop the ultimate. Angel over here on the back line. Robozy chasing down Tavo. They have a lot of stacks on him. He's got the Yules though. Buys enough time here. KJ trying to get into position. Does manage to get off the ultimate. They'll turn their attention back to the Medusa. She has no mana left. The Steel of Fort does end up falling. Tavo having to be a bit careful here. He's going to get bushwhacked over to the trees. KJ hiding over into the corner, but they manage to go. They take down KG. They take down Angel while this is going on the back lines thanks to 4DR. And the hunt is on. Constabile says, come back here. I would love some more Estus deck. Lands the pounce. Does have to be careful though. They do have the bushwhack. They go back in again. Looks like SG. Oh, they're going to try to go back in. Sacred using the Stampede. Hunting for Constabile here. Immediately though, the pounce forward. And they can't quite get their hands over onto Tavo just yet, as he's pretty speedy here. But look how fast. Look at this Warpath stacks over on Mr. Robozy. He's going to back off, though. Doesn't want to go for the candy kill.
It took some doing there, but they were able to eventually work down their opponents. Death Prophet stays alive, constantly healing, and... dealing a ton of damage. I mean, the Oracle ulti came out as well for Death Prophet, and it didn't even feel like it was that needed. She just kept staying alive. So Tavo's had a great performance so far. Clark's game, a lot harder. He has to weave in and out of the fights. He's taking a lot of damage. Needs to buy time to heal. But ultimately, they do kill the Dusa. Dusa got worked down slowly over time. It's going to be a little bit different when the Butterfly comes up, though. His ability to take less damage. He went in the Mystic Snake cooldown. There isn't great mana stealing sources. Death Prophet and Oracle are the big ones, but yeah, we'll see how this works out. As the itemization changes, it's going to completely change the calculus of who to target in fights.
Casual scan comes out over on the side here as Angel and Shesed move together. And this is something that I really like seeing out of these two players. The way that Shesed typically, whenever he's on something of a saving support, will just follow the Medusa, or not Medusa, but Angel in general around, whether it's a Spectre, and he's playing Oracle, or in this case, the Abaddon. Just lurking in the shadows, just in case anyone tries to get fresh with her, has any ideas of trying to gank. He is in position generally to make sure that she can get off at least, a couple of those spells, which will buy her enough time to teleport out.
Well, they do spot Dusa bottom. Nyx is going to try to take the Shrine. If he succeeds on this, they know Dusa's got to walk. It's a long ways, and they've already committed Death Prophet ulti. So Roche is going to get cleared up for them. And not much gain for Unknown other than a little bit of lane push. Aegis on Slark, absolutely amazing here. They need it. The last couple fights, he has really good damage, but it's hard for him to commit to a kill all the way through. So Aegis will give him a little bit more leeway here. Nyx gets caught, though.
He does indeed, the bushwhack, and it's going to be safe if he gets the final hit here. AJ now teleporting out. He cannot do it fast. It's just far too much damage. So they'll turn their attention now to the mid tower and take it down over on the side of Unknown.
I mean, it was likely Unknown shifts over there. Nyx Assassin, don't blame him for getting stunned there. But Oracle should have just let him die. He did not want to waste False Promise there. Level 1 is a 120-second cooldown, and they would almost certainly need that for a team fight later on, but probably should have ditched a little faster. So that's going to give Unknown a little bit of net worth advantage. They get the mid-tier 1 as a result, but ultimately, SG is not too concerned with this because this buys them time. They've got Aegis. The next fight should be good. And Slark aiming for his axe. He's almost there. 300 gold to go. And his ability to just prevent enemies from leaving, whether that's Dusa or Abaddon after Abaddon ult pops, or even Hoodwink. It's going to make it a lot easier for him to build up stacks and get kills.
Speaking of being able to build up stacks, we do have the Agnum Scepter completed now for the Bristleback, so there is going to be a lot of this viscous nasal goo being thrown all over the enemy team here. It's going to make it difficult for them to kite, and it's also going to reduce a chunk of their armor.
It's a really good axe right now. The AoE is huge. Even like one nasal goo hit is what, -5 armor to everybody. So just applying that in engagement when you're already doing a lot of physical damage from Medusa auto attacking everybody is really obnoxious. The slow is huge too, so really makes it so much harder to kite through these fights. But you can buy BKB. Dark Pact is a solution too, and Death Prophet's already pretty darn fast. Death Prophet does have BKB, by the way, so she's going to be effective at staying alive or running them down in these moments. But that's maybe one downside. Bristleback is actually not that farm. His net worth on the board looks pretty middling, but hey, Ags will make him feel important. Even if he's not the tankiest guy in the world, he can at least slow his opponents consistently. Smoke breaks and
Hunt is on. They'll find themselves chested first and foremost, and they'll follow up with an impale. Just trying to hold them into place. And like you said, they'll hold them there, wait for the ultimate to be over, but they use the Stampede. So, the follow-up though here for 4DR. Be able to go land one more pound. So they do manage the bushwhack off as they follow up with the chain stun over here. Uncle Stabile, he's in a lot of danger. That's going to be the Aegis getting popped. The buyback now coming out from Abad. Yolipor looking beautiful miniature ravage, but the bushwhack again following up here, and they'll follow up with a Pierce on the back side. Exorcism gets popped. They want to try to burn down Sacred, but not going to be able to quite land all that damage. Capo hiding in the tree line here. The hunt is still on. Costabile and Theolocor will be able to clean up over on Widge as they do another spike. Carapace, there's the RP on the back lines. Can they hold them into place? Can they get the hits off? Yes, they can. Chesed will fall. Theolocor, though, going to pay for that as Sacred is next to fall. 4DR saved just at the right time here. Just a little bit left, but Tavo now is just getting chased down by Angel, by Robo Z. 4DR's trying, but now he's just killed himself trying to go and help out Tavo.
I just followed Slark in that whole fight, and everything looks so much easier now that he's been able to pick up the Ags. He basically got to dive in. He did waste his ultimate right before his Aegis popped. He thought, okay, I'm going to pop Shadow Dance here, reset. But the nice Hoodwink ulti, the sharpshooter comes in, cleans him up, burns his Aegis, and he looked kind of dead, but then he just leapt halfway across the map and was able to re-engage. He even jumped to go defend Oracle against Hoodwink, got that kill. His ultimate mistake was jumping in there and committing to the Medusa when he only had about 600 HP and no leap charges or ulti left. So just got worked down eventually off that mistake. And from there, the dominoes fell. The rest of SG got cleaned up. So, but still pretty darn even fight. And both teams still have a really good chance of winning.
There's just a 1k net worth difference, like, doing all of this. Even though this Dusa has an incredible amount of farm, right? She's got 18.7k. She's got a full butterfly. She's almost got the Scotty online. They still are, you know, really handling it well over on the side of SG. Granted, that fight not going as well as they would have liked, obviously, because they did end up losing the Aegis and Costabile and weren't able to get any sort of objective. But it seems like they're still holding their own.
They are, for sure. I'm still really impressed by how much damage Tavo is doing. Like, I watch a fight for like 20 seconds and I come back and he's still running down some tanky hero with his ulti going and Spirit Siphons. Like, this guy actually needs to buy the shard this game to get an extra Spirit Siphon shard, because he just is burning through all of them in smart, consistent ways because the fights are going so long. He's just not being targeted at all. So, hey, I mean, they've still got decent damage, but it's hard to deal with the Dusa. And that's the thing that scares me about this lineup.
Especially, again, we've talked about how good Angel is with the Medusa. This is definitely one of the more comfortable heroes for him. So, we have every right to be feeling a little bit nervous on the side of SG.
They still have great disable. They still have got mana burn. I mean, they can use Oracle to counterplay some stuff. I just feel like Oracle doesn't seem that amazing this game. There's not really like too much like jump and kill one guy burst outside of like what Hoodwink and Centaur does. It's the nature of the draft on the Dire side, the unknown draft. They just get tanky and they run at their opponents and you try to get kills, basically. The Oracle ulti could save like Slark, but with Slark having Ags, like, what are the chances Oracle's actually in the right area, you know?
Right.
It's like Slark's gonna see a fish and he's gonna go for it. You can't stop him. Good luck catching up.
It's always fun when you're playing a support hero like Oracle and you're trying to save your Storm Spirit who just keeps zipping around the entire map. Have to be very quick with those fingers. But top tower goes down and the invasion is on now here from Unknown, because they're going to try to take advantage of the Radiant Triangle and try to shore up perhaps the next Roche for themselves.
Got a Paladin Sword for the Radiant team, so Sark would love that item. But the scariest thing by far, Deuce's net worth is now eclipsing anybody else on the Radiant team, and the key item is always Scotty. Scotty is the key item in so many games right now, and the hero that it's massively going to counter is Death Prophet. Death Prophet range hero, she's going to be super slowed. She's going to get half of the healing from Spirit Siphon or her ulti coming back than normal. So Tavo's ability to kind of just do damage output is going to be limited now. Sark lifesteal's also going to get halved. Well, let's see if they can fight well.
For the jump, a beautiful impale coming out from Theolacor as he lands on all three of them. Stampede, though, gets used as now they're going to turn right back around again as Angel's just chasing down. Kostabile, though, he's just stuck on the other side with RoboZ and Sacred. Theolacor already falls. The Stone Gaze gets used on the other side, but Sacred just getting clicked down here by Kostabile. And all of this damage now coming out from Tavo. He's forced to pop his BKB, but like you said, Purge, that Scotty makes it so hard for him to just climb away. Kostabile dodging back in and forth. He wants to get this kill on RoboZ, and he's going to be able to find it. Tavo actually getting the kill. They'll nuke down the Abaddon on the back end, and the RP was saved, especially for Angel, but Witch follows up with the Bushwhack, his own little miniature RP in a sense, as over on the other side, though, Tavo joining in, the silence gets used, Witch is running through his life with that scurry, and they have to be careful that they don't overextend here, but it is just Angel right now. Do they go back in? They feel like they want to, Witch just doing a little shoveling over here on the side as Tavo will cut the wave.
They just really can't touch Angel right now. It's so hard with him having Butterfly and Scotty. They don't have True Strike. He presents such a big threat. I mean, Sark did a pretty good job in that fight. He hit the back line. He killed Centaur by himself. Centaur bought a Blade Mail, knowing he's going to be targeted by Slark, so at least he can reflect some damage. And it did force Slark to ulti, but Slark was able to kill Bristleback after he killed Centaur as well. Fed on all these stacks. And they still were struggling to kill Medusa. But they do have some good solutions, and they showed them in that fight. They're using Fate's Edict on Dusa. She takes no magic damage, but she can't attack. That's a great trade for what they're looking at. So they have some counterplay here. Tavo did look a little vulnerable when the Scotty got on top of him, but he's on his next. He's at his third item now. He's got Scotty basically finished, if he wants to buy out, that is. If he wants to have no buyback. And Scotty's a great solution too. Limit their healing, limit their attack speed. Get more tanky, AoE slows, all those things will be really helpful. So, but the game's still so close. It all weighs around like Medusa's ability to disable the opponents enough and slow them down, and for her team to get some pickoffs. But right now, it feels like the control is in SG Esports' hands, and Unknown is just hoping that SG makes an execution mistake, where they can like chain stun a hero or something like that. Last fight went kind of good. They killed Nyx fast, but past that, it just feels like they're running circles. As she's running circles around Unknown right now.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those situations where, you know, you look at what Pakaz has for his net worth. It's massive, right? 22k. Next closest is Slark at 16. But that becomes the issue, is that it's just the Dusa sitting at that top net worth. And the next three slots are, of course, just owned by the side of SG with their cores. Mm-hmm. There's a big gap between that too. You know, you've got 22k on this Medusa, and then, you know, your mid is 12k. So it's a lot harder for you to get things done, even though you do have, you know, this hyper carry. You need the rest of the team to be able to stand there toe to toe with you as well. And when there's that big of a discrepancy, it's very difficult.
Now the power of Slark. Easy dewarding. You know where the wards are approximately, and if do a little bit of due diligence, you find them, you get the dewards, and now good luck controlling this side of the map. Like, how easy is it going to be SG? Look at this. Slark's farming large camps in front of Medusa, knowing, I'm not letting you get that net worth. I'm not letting you enter your jungle. You can have a tri-camp over here, and that's about it. Theolacor even playing the bottom lane, looking for people to push out these lanes so he can interrupt TPs and give his team an opportunity. Because, I mean, if somebody comes down to your split push, and they go to TP away and Theolacor stuns them, then he knows the rest of his team can go engage. He can TP to the enemy side map shrine, and they can take a fight. So, just really good map control. They will back temporarily, giving up control of this area, but they already cleared all the camps, so they just don't care. They clear the camps, they back up, take their tri-camp, and I expect them to re-invade momentarily here, and we'll see if they can regain control of this. in anticipation of the next Roche, which will be semi-soon, 30 seconds.
Yeah, look at the way they're just making their way over here. They know that RoboZ's here. The immediate pounds. They'll be able to use the shockwave back and well. And there it is. There's the exorcism, but they're able to run pretty nicely.
Good
BKB
stun.
coming out from Tavos. They're going to try to
Oh.
hold Kusabile into place, but they don't have the means to do it when he's got that false promise. Tavo is being slowed down quite a bit. That Mystic Snake doing a lot of damage here. As again, still trying to climb away. Angel, though, there it is. There's the Stone Gaze. Should be able to click Tavo down over on the side, so they'll be able to reduce that profit. She's not going to be a part of this fight at all, as KJ is next to fall. Unknown, they're angry, and they're looking for anything else that they can possibly get. Look at Wish, he wanted to go and grab 40R, but not going to be able to quite close the gap, not with that Blink Dagger. So Angel will turn his attention now to the mid lane and just start hitting the tower.
Slark launches himself in, but killing the Bristleback there is tough. They do not have the best control just yet, and like they could have RP'd that. The Magnus did blink in, but he knows it's not going to be good to jump on Mag like this. And now the second Roche just falls right into Unknown's lap because of that go. And it feels bad. If Slark had Scotty, maybe they kill Bristle there, maybe they can commit to it, but with Tavo popping his ultimate and his BKB, things felt rough. They would have had to get that kill for that to feel right. And let's see what happens. Cheese. Shard goes to Bristleback. He's got Hairball now. He gets Aegis, and Dusa gets Axe. That's going to launch Bristle up a lot net worth-wise. Wins the fight, is there for all those kills, and picks up Hairball. So another 1,400 net worth. Now things are looking a little closer. 3k gold advantage for Unknown.
It's such a ridiculous sounding thing, just Hairball. He doesn't even have hair.
Doesn't he? Well, with this
He
cosmetic
has quills. He has quills. That is what he shoots.
on. Yeah, you're right. There's not a lot of hair on Bristleback's face.
No.
I see he's got a little like sideburn thing or whatever, but that's about it.
How did that end? I don't. Never mind. I don't want to know the answer to that, and I don't want to know your
Hair
answer to it. No, Purge. Both the outposts will get captured by their respective sides here, as RoboZ has completed, of course, that Heaven's Halberd. Come forward, though, from Kasabile. Just wants to poke a bit. Has quite a few stacks on him, though, so it's a stack-on-stack sort of battle, as the teleports are coming out now. Sacred making his way back home will force SG back, as they're putting the pressure down on this bottom tier 2, and they should have it.
So all those times he just hit Bristle, he only got him, what, 3 times it looks like?
Yeah.
Only got the evasion really paying off there. Just wanted to get some stacks built up. Increases farm speed, makes the next fight a little better. But yeah, the pressure across the map. Deuce is going to have Ags coming. Due to having Aegis just buys out. Now with the Ags, extra stuns in the team fight, it's going to make it a lot harder for SG to take fights.
Well, Tavo walking directly into Angel here, and look at this. He's picked up a Ghost Scepter because they just don't want to have to deal with the physical damage coming out from Angel, but they'll make their rotation here to the bottom lane, and the pressure is on. They'll disarm her for a little bit, try to buy a bit more time for their tower, but it only goes for so long. Try to go for the Dispel to bounce right back over onto KJ. Jump forward here from 40R. We'll try to separate the Medusa completely with the nice silence coming out from Tavo. And there it is. There's that exorcism. But they've got so much damage coming out here as Angel just split-shotting left and right, followed up with the Stone Gaze. Kastabile trying to get some of these clicks off. They take down Theolacor. He's going to buy back Kastabile. Turn to Stone. Trying to finish off Sacred here. Should be able to find it. And now Tavo, he's got all these ghosts up. He's got to be really careful, though, because he's separated from the rest of the team as they get the bushwhacked off. Oh, there it is, the 40R pushing all the way back. Angel is so far away from the rest of his team right now as they go, and they disarm. Shessid, though, falling now on... There's no mana left over here on Angel. He's got the Aegis still, but there's a whole split fight going on over here on the side. Tavo, its exorcism is finished. Another skewer. They just don't want Angel anywhere near his team as they're deal the Spirit Siphon over onto RoboZ, and he's just trying to spew anything he can. There's the Impale over onto 2 on the back lines. They have not managed to kill RoboZ yet. Sabile, though, still clicking away over onto RoboZ continuously, just trying to shed off all of the snot and goo and everything, but it's sitting very, very low. Finally, he manages to get RoboZ, and they follow up with the RP. They'll be able to save Constabile. They get the kill over onto Sacred. And they're still trying to hunt. They managed to find which they hold on for so long. Angel, he's still alive.
Great boss
because he's
time.
been separated the entire time. And again, they're just going to keep skewering him back, throwing him back and forth. This is a dance I don't think Angel wants, but I don't think Theolacor wants it either because he's sitting so low. Look at the amount of essence shifts that they have going on here. Another snake coming out. He'll go Purge off again and just try to continuously disarm the Deuce.
Okay.
Finally, they take her down. Round 2 begins right now as they'll just immediately disarm her again, try to burn all of the mana. She wants to get the kill on KJ. KJ having to use his ultimate on himself. There it is.
Ooh,
There's the
look
Stone
at
Gaze
Iffy.
once again.
Oh.
40R, he's sitting down. No, he's still going to be able to survive as they're just going back and forth. Spike Carapace comes out. Stabile still clicking away. We got 44 Essence.
Gotta
Finally,
kill.
they take down Theolacor. But they're just still trading back and forth here. Stabile needs to be careful again because, all right, they finally managed to chew through all of that mana. But look at this. It's been so long. The Wish is back up. He's trying to help out Angel, but it's looking like they're going to
All right,
finally
it's over, I
be
think.
able to kill Angel with one more click. Wish now is just obliterated. Look at the essence just on this Slark. 65 Chested hiding over around this corner here, trying to run away. Look at the damage, though, coming out from Stabile. This is a big ol' fishy.
Just killed Bristleback without his ulti popping, so he just did over 400 damage in that last hit. He's hitting for 500 damage right now. And all it took was 200 stolen agility to finally be able to beat that Medusa without having the Monkey King bar, which is now here finally. That was the coolest fight I've seen in a while. Funny but cool. SG, they figured out what they needed to do. Pull Dusa away from the rest of their team and let Slark do his thing. If you have to deal with Scotty,
no.
it's bad.
Oh, Robo Z. Immediately the disarm comes off, but they'll just purge it off. Lotus Orb comes out. Sacred trying to buy a bit more time over here. It does pop that Stampede. But Stabile, again, he's got nice 69 stolen essence right now as he just slams away over here on these creeps, hits the tower. The exorcism comes up because Tavo knows that that fortification is going down. Another stomp coming out. They're going to try to bushwhack. Silence comes out, though, from Tavo. Sharpshooter lands over to Stabile. Jumps forward again, though, jumping over onto Sacred. Has to be careful, though, because there's so much damage being reflected to him from that blade mail. But luckily, he's got KJ here. He's got his Oracle. He's going to keep him alive, keep him protected, keep him healthy as he just continues to mow down these buildings. Gets chained to a tree, but he's not deterred here. Stabile going right back top as here we go again. 4DR shoving Robo-Z right back again. And the damage is just so immense that they finally take down Theolacor, but Robo-Z falls to the hands of Stabile yet again. They do have buyback over on this Bristleback. They do not have it on the center. They are going to buy back, though. Stabile, though, he's a big old boy. They have to be careful in the way that they go after him. But looks like SG, they've had a good time. They're going to back off and just push out another wave.
Slark became the new Medusa there after enough fighting. It looked iffy, like Dusa was going to be able to get more kills, but after that many stat steals, so easy to take buildings on Slark with 200 extra agility. That's 200 damage, 200 attack speed. That's like, he probably had like 30 extra armor than he was supposed to, which really bought him so much time. And now his net worth is close to where Dusa's is, and he's a short bit of gold away from having a Satanic as well. So he's going to be able to cut through the evasion, and as he steals damage, good luck killing him anymore.
Purge, I'm going to have you open up the team net worth, and we'll ask Pythian to do that too, because that's a huge swing after the fights. It is actually insane now. You know, the Dusa was so far ahead, and look at this. They're already hunting. They're hoping that they can get their hands on her, but they're playing tight over on the side of Unknown. And honestly, during that whole fight, I have to shout out 40R. The way that he just handled Angel the entire time with those skewers away. Again, we talked about it. It was funny, and it was also just absolutely brilliant. Angel was not allowed to fight with this team, and it made a huge difference.
Yeah, and the other thing is that she's given up boots at this point. So, I mean, she's got Sanjinyasha, so she has a little movement speed, but she is a slow hero, and it's hard for her to get back to where she's supposed to be. She has Force Staff with the Hurricane Pike, but yeah, just keep her separated from the rest of the team. Let Slark work everybody down with his huge net worth and stealing stats. There just isn't that much single target damage on the Unknown side right now. So as Slark gets his item solutions, it's hard for them to fight into him.
He is a big old boy.
Roshan up in a minute and 10. So SG gonna control this side of the map to make it easier for them, but Slark's gonna apply pressure. He knows he's really hard to kill, so it's super simple for him to walk up like
He
this.
jumps right in over onto Angel. Does get pushed.
He doesn't have
by,
any-
though. Let's be careful.
No more leaps. Does he care?
It's a decent amount of damage.
Yes.
The stump, are they going to be able... No, no, no. The follow-up from KJ, beautifully timed here, will be able to keep Gustabile alive as they use the Stampede. They want to follow it. Angel has the Lotus Orb on him, looking to see if he can just get close enough here. KJ, that's a very ambitious TP, my friend, so he
almost.
is going to fall. The Olikor with the Spike Carapace is going to get stomped, though. He's next to go down. But there are quite a few creeps in the base and a Cardi. A couple of them, actually, so some damage being placed on the buildings. But Gustabile does have to be a little careful there. I think that was perhaps a little too wild. What do you think, Purge?
It was just unlucky that I guess that the Dusa was already set up for it. She did not want to deal with him killing the range barracks for free, so she TP'd anticipating the move. The crazy thing is that Roche is going to spawn in 10 seconds, and it's a really fast spawn, and there's 2 dead supports, as she's going to be kicking themselves if they realize, or if Unknown is able to get this. Where's Dusa? Dusa is nearby the Roche pit.
Oh, wish.
They spot
He
it.
just
Here comes
spots it.
Bristle. Bristle starts shooting goo out. He's super excited. He's ready to lower the armor of Roshan, and there it is. There's a free Aegis in the pit. Who's going to get it? Abaddon, maybe? Maybe give it to Hoodwink, get the boomerang?
I don't think that's the case. I think it's going to be RoboZ.
Look at they're grouping right now. There's okay, guys,
No,
smoke.
it's
Let's go.
Medusa. Okay, Dusa.
But it's
and
too late.
then Cheese over
Sorry?
on the Bristle.
Did she? Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, they gave it to Hoodwink. She already ate her eggs because she had one before. Remember?
Oh, no, no, no. I'm sorry. I was talking about the Aegis, not the Ags.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. So yeah, eggs goes to Hoodwink, and yeah, that's about it. She's on Bristle. Okay.
Good old
So
Hunter's boomerang.
unfortunate for SG, timing-wise, that worked out like that. Without the supports up, they didn't want to get on the map, but fast Roach respawn, that's going to hurt him. Slark is a little scared. He realizes now there is burst damage potential on his hero. He doesn't have a butterfly-like item. He would love to have it, but these other items he's bought is more important. You need Monkey King Bar this game. With that said, he's got 7,000 gold in the bank. He's got almost 4,000 he could spend right now, but he's holding it. Hasn't bought the Depth Shroud either. The Shard could buy him 2 ultis, basically, but for now, he's just staying hidden. They want to see where their opponents are before they make any plays. Such a good neutral item on Dusa to the Illusionist Cape. Easy to push out those side lanes with this. So Slark is pressuring the one lane that matters, basically. The last lane of melee barracks left. He's going to hang out in this area. He's going to know, the best thing about this situation, he knows that they have wards too. So he's got ways to figure out whether or not he's about to get ganked or if he can play in the area. So he can spend time jungling if needed. Yeah, but he does not want to hit this building. He's a little scared that they're going to catch him here. But when they spot more people, other than Dusa, yeah, they're going to see 2 with this ward here. They spot Centaur. He's going to hit buildings now.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to take that tower and keep pushing them in. But,
back.
okay, here we go again. We have 4DR skewering back over onto Angel, throwing out the shockwave, just trying to control her, trying to separate her. As Slark has rejoined the fight. Another burn. That was a lot of mana that just got reduced here.
She gets back about 500 from the snake that returns. But yeah, that's a big problem, actually. Like, once you have like Lion Mana Drain with that talent to pump up your ally, or like Pugna or something, how do you give your carry back like 2,000 mana in a short order?
Just feed her a billion mangoes.
Mangoes is oof. That's not cost efficient.
No,
I would
it's
not
not.
recommend that many mangoes, but need to keep her the light or something. Regen rune is, you know, really one of the probably the best answer. But regen runes don't grow on trees, guys. This is a rare thing. This will give them an opportunity, but for now, they're gonna sit in their base. Waves are all a little oppressive for now, but they just gotta buy time. Wait for the Aegis to go away, and they can go back and play the map. I would like Slark to spend some money, though.
I know, I've been
8,000 gold
watching
surplus.
him. And you have to remember that they do have the Scotty online too, which will be reducing the amount of lifesteal. But having the Dispel would be very nice as well. So
Yep.
I didn't even mean to make that rhyme, my goodness. Alright, I'm waiting for the Magus to just skewer back Angel again here. There's the Lotus Orb protecting. They clean up the creep wave very easily. And look at Sacred, trying to get in that perfect position, hoping he's got the fastest fingers. So if they do try to make this jump on Angel, he can interrupt it. But they'll back off. They're playing this very, very slowly on the side of Unknown.
Centaur buying out, going towards an Axe here. Wants to be able to reduce the damage of his allies. And I believe it also increases the duration by 1, yes. And you can run up and down cliffs, so it should make it a lot easier for them to reset. It's got the Stampede cooldown talent as well.
Okay, they're going
Slow
down
siege.
for the bottom. 40R doing the same thing he did before, pushing Angel back away from everyone. They do manage to get the stone off. Constabulary starts getting all of these stacks up. It's going to continue to click down over on Angel. He's out of mana already. Team tries to follow up. They'll be able to do a couple of these heals, but
Ooh.
Angel's not looking healthy at all as he gets so far back here with a push that he's just not allowed to hit any of these buildings. Very nicely played. Again, 40R on point with these setups.
It is night and day difference having the MKB there. Being able to hit through the butterfly changes so much. Slark is routinely grabbing stacks. He's constantly hitting with the Scotty. And Dusa just has to leave. And what was so cool about what SG did is they did not overcommit resources either. They didn't pop BKBs, they didn't pop Exorcism, they didn't pop Slark ulti. They know that the Stampede's going to come out, and when it does, that's when they disengage. Small advantage is gained, so now they pop smoke, and now they're going to be the aggressors. Going to go get some map control and try to find things. Well, with that said, because Unknown had so much time, they've got great ward vision at the moment. So there's a chance that when SG does find Unknown, they engage them in a poor area or one where Unknown has advantage for vision, and that could change the fight in a positive way. But Slark's a little monster right now, so no matter who he finds, he's probably going to have a good time and steal a lot of stats, especially with the Satanic finish. And he did spend his buyback money, by the way. He's 400 short, 350 short of his buyback, so he's got to be careful.
Does have to be careful indeed. He does, of course, have that Oracle, so as long as KJ's in a good position, should be able to give him a second life, so to speak. And then, of course, he is a Slark, so he's got that Shadow Dance as long as he doesn't get ground targeted with stuns and lockdown. He's a pretty slippery fish.
He is.
But that is not impossible, obviously, to kill him as evidence. But he's having a pretty good game when you consider 11-2 and 11 on the Slark. So
yeah, this ultra late game situation against really tanky guys, Slark is probably one of the best carries, without a doubt. And another little advantage going towards him, he just hit level 28, so he got his lifesteal talent. It's 18% lifesteal. Almost no Slark ever gets this as the game develops, but in this late game situation, heck yes, I'll take the free lifesteal when you're slapping blade mail centaurs and stuff like that. It's really nice to have.
And getting constantly clicked by the Scotty.
Yeah,
Look at
a
this
lot of that's
damage,
going to be
though.
offset, but hey, free lifesteal, basically.
Everybody likes free stuff. Already pinging out. He's like, there's a ward here. Please remove this. And they're just going to be able to clean things up very nicely here. And drop a sentry. Don't even have to break the smoke. Stabile just hunting, clearing out these waves very rapidly, since he does have the Empower and quite a bit of damage. But who is going to be the unlucky prey? As you can see already, Unknown backing off here. They're feeling a bit nervous. More wards getting cut down. They find themselves the illusion. They'll click that down as well. And Constabile over in the tree line. He's going to run into a lot of the team here. Does find Angel almost immediately. There it is. There's the Hunter's Mark. Bushwhack not going to be able to quite connect it. Again, the skewer back over on the oh my god, Angel. The RP comes out. The BKBs come out as well. They're trying to dish out as much damage as possible, but Viola Core immediately obliterated here. 40R held into place. They're doing so much of Sacred will go down. Constabile, he's been safe. Tavo trying to get these clicks off. He's just taking so much damage as Constabile, though, continues just clicking away over at Angel. He's got so many essence sticks. He goes, he gets himself a triple kill. He wants Robo Z as well. Can he get himself a quad here? He's just trying to find the angle. Robo Z, he's so fast though, but he pounces right forward. He gets himself an ultra kill. No buyback over on Robo Z. No buyback on Sacred. They bought back on the Dusa, but this is a big Slark. And somehow during all of that, Tavo is still here, still with the exorcism. They're looking to just waltz on in and push here. Abaddon buying back up. Bushwhack holding on to Stabile again. They have the Spike Carapace. Look at this damage, though, coming out from the Medusa. You have to be really careful. The Olafort trying to just buy some more time to jump back forward here, coming out from 40 yards. They get the skewer off. They manage to go land a stun Angel. The clicks are coming out here with that Satanic. Can they get it off enough in time? As the Bushwhacks are really effective. They go right back in. Angel, he has absolutely no mana left. The Olafort falling. He does pop. But Stabile, he's looking very healthy. Another skewer coming out here from 40R. The Bushwhacks just controlling them left and right. 40R has to be very, very careful. Has to pop that BKB, but they've got the right click damage. It's going to be enough to be able to take down 40R, but they take down Angel. They'll take down Abaddon. The GG gets hauled. SG with a very powerful Slark will take game number 2.
It was not an easy game for Slark, and it took a lot of discipline from SG, but They're able to weather the storm of the super hard to kill Medusa, but they're able to do it. And when he gets his items, once he gets his MKB and once he gets his Satanic, it completely changed how easy it was for SG to take a fight. Medusa has to sit in the front, and she's always going to be an easy skewer target, but now they can just kill the skewer target instead of separating and going for the back line. It just made the fight a lot more straightforward. Slark's stacks got out of control instantly, and I couldn't focus on anything else in the fight. It was just Slark hitting people and jumping around and solidifying kills. So really well played by SG.
There was a lot going on in those fights, so I don't blame you for being hyper-focused on that one thing in particular. But yeah, you know, it looked a little iffy for the side of SG early on. Unknown was looking like they were getting quite large here. But, you know, I talked about it before, where SG, they tend to drop first game, and then second game they come back with a vengeance. So clearly I should have just paid attention to history here and gone with the side of SG. But we are going to take a short break, guys, and when we come back, we're going to talk all about that game.